We live. All right, Shalom. This is the I.S.U.P.K under Commanding General YAHANNA. For those of you that don't know, there is a school in the UK. The school is in the city of Birmingham. So, if anyone Black, Hispanic, or of native Indian descent, you come to this school, man. If you're not in Birmingham, then watch online. We got the channels on the YouTube, I.S.U.P.K United Kingdom, and on the Facebook, I.S.U.P.K United Kingdom as well, man. So we got the classes in the school. We got classes 4 times a week, and we have an online class done by Officer Shamgar. So on the Monday at 7 till 9, you got the Monday history class done by Officer Karafia. Powerful history. Breaks down Black soldiers fought in World War I, World War II, and believe me, many other things. If you've missed some, then do go through the archives on the YouTube and on the Facebook as well. And you can definitely catch up with all of the history classes that have been taught. Then this class is online. It's not in the school. It's the Brotherhood class. It's a Tuesday Brotherhood class done by Officer Shamgar. So that class will be available online at the same time at 7 till 9 o'clock. So you can watch that online on YouTube. Again, the YouTube channel, I.S.U.P.K United Kingdom, and on the Facebook, I.S.U.P.K United Kingdom as well. And then you got the Wednesday law class. That class is done in the school at the same time again. That class is done by Officer Dumgabar. And again, you don't want to miss that. It's a law class going into what? The laws of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Then today you got the Thursday scripture breakdown class done by myself, Captain Parasha. Where scripture breakdown class is where we break down scriptures in the Bible. If you believe baptism ain't being baptized by the word, then in the scripture breakdown class, we will show you that, the way how John the Baptist, I got it. I'm sorry. Sweet. Yeah, so if you believe that John's baptism is the way, this being a scripture breakdown class, we will show you that John's baptism was not the way.
That's right.
And anything, if you believe that the Gentiles, meaning non-Israelites, can be saved, then we'll show you that they're not being saved. Only Israel is being saved.
That's right.
And anything else, or if there's a scripture you just don't understand, we'll break it down in this scripture breakdown class. Then on Friday in the school at 9 o'clock till 11, we have On the Ends Radio, established by Officer Karafia. And also, we have the Warhead, Captain Mashat Mayam in On the Ends, man, breaking it down, relevant articles, relevant blogs, and just anything that is relevant for the UK. So that's what we do. Then on Saturday, it's a Sabbath class. That's at 12 till 1. And again, that class is only 1 hour, but we send up the prayers, then we read out of the law first in the Hebrew, then in the English. So that's an excellent class that we got going on. So in the UK, that's the schedule that we got. But also, in every school that we have, these classes are being taught in every school as well. Of course, in their time, so in America, they would be 5 hours behind. So at 12 o'clock, you'll be also able to log in online and watch any class at, any time that you would like, man. So, we also got Black Watch on the Monday at 2 a.m. That's the radio show by Commanding General YAHANNA, excellent radio show talking about everything that us as blacks and Hispanics that we don't see. And he addresses all of it, man. Commanding General YAHANNA addresses all of it, man. So that's a excellent radio show. Then we got also Cross the Line radio show on a Thursday at about 5 a.m. I'm correct, 5:04. I believe it's 5 to be fair. But yeah, that's an excellent radio show where people call and they see if they want it or not. And 9 times out of 10, they don't want it.
That's right.
You know what I mean? They think they do till they get what they ask for and they realize they don't want it, man.
That's right.
So that's by Captain Tazayak and Captain Katzar, man. So that's the schedule. Of course, every school has individual radio shows and anything. So if I've missed any out, Salakia. All right, man. So with that being said, if anyone has anything in the class, do feel free to write them in. If you have a question online, don't hesitate to write them in. But in today's class, we're going to get into the Bible and we're going to get into that God wants the Israelites to rule next. One thing we've been in here in the I.S.U.P.K, sometimes, this world, if you allow it to, it can get you down. If you look at all the wickedness and, you're doing everything to serve the Lord, it can get you down if, you lose sight, if you lose what the Most High has for you. Now, one thing what we got is this: we have the Bible, man.
That's right.
And in the Bible, it talks about the beginning to the end. And what did the Bible say about the end? That we would rule, man.
That's right.
We're not going to die forever, man. We're not going to be under the foot of our oppressor forever. And that's why with the Bible, it gives us hope, man. With the Bible, it gives us something that this world cannot give blacks and Hispanics. And it's called faith, man. It's called hope. It's called something to look towards, even when, it seems like you might be hopeless. And that's something we need to understand, man. In the Bible, like many times in the Bible, what did it say? That the Israelites are going to rule, man.
That's right.
The Israelites will be under their oppressor, but a time will come where those people that have a foot on their neck, they will get that foot off their neck, man.
That's right.
They will rule, and that's the Bible. So regardless of what you see going out in the world, the COVID, we know it's from the Lord. But regardless of what you see, if you got rent problems or whatever the case may be, you hold on to that faith. Because if you let it go, then really, what do you have to look up to? What is there in your life that you can look at and go, you know what? I'm going through all of this, but I know that there's hope, man. I know that if I just endure, then there's something better out there. If you leave this, then what hope have you got, man?
That's right.
There's many people out there, they've put their hopes in things that are just vain. And one day they have to wake up to that reality of, I was wasting my time, man.
That's right.
For so many years, we put our efforts into selling weed, man. One day, I'm going to be the richest weed man. I'm going to sell weed all over Birmingham, man. I'm going to drive to London and sell weed. I'm going to drive to Manchester and I'm going to sell some weed. And what happens? You keep getting locked up, man.
That's right.
That is false hope, man. If you believe in this world, then guess what? You are accepting a false hope. You are accepting something that is not real. And how do you know? Look around, man. Everyone believes they're the next best thing, man. Nah, it's fine. Everyone believes they're the next biggest thing, man. They're the next Instagram dancer, model. You know what I mean? Everyone believes I'm next. And what makes you believe that, man? You're doing the same thing what someone else is doing too, man. So why should it be you? What makes you stand out from somebody else? But guess what? When you serve the Lord, you stand out, black man. When you keep laws, statutes, and commandments, you stand out, and you don't need to compete with anybody, man.
Right.
You serve the Lord, you are in a league of your own, man.
That's right.
You serve the Lord, you ain't gotta contend with anyone. And let me tell you something: serving the Lord ain't just for us, man. It's for you, black man, watching online, man.
That's right.
It's for you, whether you're throughout London, Manchester, Leeds, Sheffield, wherever you are, you can serve the Lord and be great and not compete at all, man. So let's get the first scripture. Let's get Romans 15:4. Let's get Romans 15:4.
The book of Romans, chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
And there you go, man. So the things that were written for all time, it was written for our learning, man.
Right.
Meaning what? It was written for us to learn from. It was written for us to learn from and go, you know what? I'm not going to get weak because this happened in the past, and the men of old, they overcame this.
Right.
The men of old, they done better, man. And guess what? I've got to do better. The men of old, they had the same problems as me, and they overcame, man.
Right.
And you want to understand that. One thing you don't want to forget is that in this day and age, there's nothing new, man. You know, what do people like to say? Well, in this day and age, it's different. No, it's not, man. There was whores back in Abraham's time, man.
Oh, no, we like it.
There was weed and drugs back in Abraham's time. And guess what?
Right.
Abraham did not take no drugs, man.
That's right.
You know, everything you see going on now, it happened back then, man. Everything you see going on in these last days, it's always been happening. It's happened. It maybe happened a bit differently, but nevertheless, it happened, man. And guess what? What's written in this Bible is for our learning. It's for us to learn from, man. When you read about Exodus, you're not meant to read it and go, that sounds great, man. You're meant to read it and go, you know what? If God saved our ancestors from Egypt, he can save me from England, man. If God saved us from the Egyptians, then he can save us from America, Jamaica, Trinidad, Haiti, Puerto Rico, man, Mexico, man. Why? Because what you're reading, you are learning from it, man. Read on.
Khan. That we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
And there, man, that we might have hope. Meaning what's in this book is meant to give you hope, man. And what is one of the biggest hopes in this book? That we would have the kingdom of heaven, man.
Khan.
Shalom, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah. Everyone good?
Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Shalom.
All right, man. So, what is the biggest hope in this Bible? That one day we will have the kingdom of heaven, man. That is the hope of all hopes, man.
Right.
That, you know what I mean? One day we don't have to have no one's foot on our neck, and instead we can rule, man. Instead, we can put the foot on somebody else's neck for a change, man.
That's right.
And that's why in this Bible, what is written in here, it gives you hope. Outside of this, there is no hope, man.
Right.
Outside of this, you know, loving your job, there's no hope. You know what I mean? There's people losing jobs at a high rate now, man. So there definitely was no hope in that. In this world, you know, you can put your hopes into so many things, and what happens? You get let down, man.
That's right. Right.
But if you serve God, that ain't false hope. If you serve the living God, then your hope is not void, man. What you're working towards is not useless.
Right.
Read that one more time.
Khan. The book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
And there you go, man. What was written in the past is written for our learning, man. It's
Right.
written for us to learn, man. It's written for us to read and go, you know what? I can overcome this, man.
Khan.
Oh, Shalom said, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barake the also as well, man. We got the warhead in the chat as well, man. Captain Mashat Mayom, man.
That's right.
Let me give that hand, man. Yeah, man. So, you know, what's written in the past is meant to actually strengthen you, man. You're meant to read it and go, you know what? If the men of old did it, I can do it, man.
Right.
And that we have hope. Otherwise, without this here, without this book, without this record, what hope would you have, man?
Right.
What could you look at and go, well, regardless of what's happening, I know that at the end, everything's going to be all right. In this world, nothing, man. In this world, nothing. All right, drop that. Let's get Isaiah. Let me get there. Isaiah 41. Isaiah 41. It might be 42, Slacky. Bear with me. Isaiah 42 and 22.
Isaiah 42 and 22.
Slacky. Isaiah 41 and 22.
So, come on. Isaiah 41, 22. Let them bring them forth and show us what shall happen. Let them show the former things, what they be, that we may consider them and know the latter end of them, or declare us things to come.
All right. So for those that haven't read the book of Isaiah before, what was the Lord saying here? The Lord was saying that he is the living God, man. Let them declare the things that shall happen. And of course, no one can.
That's right.
Only the God of Israel can.
Khan.
And what did our God say? That we are going to get the kingdom of heaven, man.
That's right.
Right.
In the Bible, God prophesies of the biggest empires to rule this earth, man.
That's right.
You won't find it nowhere else.
That's right.
You know what I mean? You can look at any so-called religious book and you won't find it, man. Why? Because we serve the real God, man. What
That's
you find in here, you won't find it nowhere else, man.
Come.
All the history and what's gonna happen, you only find it in one book, man. You only find it in one record, and it's only the record of the Israelites, man.
Right.
You ain't gonna find it nowhere else. And let me tell you something. The Lord, he said this to Isaiah right here, man. That, you know what I mean? If these are gods, then let them show us forth, man, what's going to happen. Go on, man. You know what I mean? If you think that God is real, then let him tell you what shall happen, man.
That's right.
Let him tell you, you know what I mean? It's like, let him declare unto us things to come. And they can't, man. No religious book out there does what the Bible does.
That's right.
That's right.
Why? Because the God of the Israelites is the real God, man.
That's right.
Read on. It was 41 and 22.
Come. Let them bring them forth and show us what shall happen. Let them show the former things, what they be, that we may consider them and know the latter end of them, or declare us things to come.
Read on.
Show the things that are to come hereafter.
And there you go, man. No idol, no false god. He can't show you what's going to happen hereafter. What does hereafter mean? Meaning from this point right now, what's going to happen next, man?
Right.
Don't find that nowhere else, man. And that's why anything in the Bible, don't doubt it, man.
That's right.
Anything written in this book, don't doubt it. I know sometimes, you know, you gotta be in the world. And when I say in the world, I'm not saying doing the things of the world, but sometimes, you know, you gotta be out there in the world and you see the wickedness and you see the things that are just not right. And guess what? You hold on to this word, man.
That's
You know that there is a reward for your righteousness, man.
correct.
There's a reward for you obeying your God in the end. And God said, listen, he knows everything, man. He knows what's going to happen hereafter. And in the Bible, what's going to happen once this world as we know it is at its end, we got the kingdom of heaven, man.
That's
Right.
Read on.
That we may know that ye are gods, yea, do good or do evil, that we may be dismayed and behold it together.
So now, what is the Lord saying? He's saying to their false idols, do something, man. Do
Right.
something good or something evil that at least we can look at it, man.
Correct.
And now, here's the problem. You know, us as blacks and Hispanics, being in religion, it doesn't give us no hope, man.
Right.
In the church, what hope do you really have? Nothing. You know, as much as you may sing and dance, you are always going to leave and you're going to see reality, man.
That's right.
While you was in the church singing and dancing, as soon as you leave that door and you walk to a car, what do you see, man? Drugs being sold.
Come.
A woman with a baby by herself and no man ain't even around her, man. No man ain't there. And you see these things and go, although I was in the church singing and dancing, you know, after I've left the church, I'm faced with a different reality, man.
That's
Right.
I was in the church singing, you know, the kingdom come and all that stuff. And as I left, the kingdom ain't here, man.
Correct.
I'm suffering. You join the mosque, man. You know what I mean? And you see the same thing again. You see racism. The Arabs don't want to mix with the black people that follow Islam.
Right.
And that's the thing, man. You know what I mean? If we don't serve our God, what hope do we have, man? We serve a God that he can let us know what's going to happen in the future. And guess what? He hasn't failed yet, man.
That's
Right.
right.
And that's the hope that we got. Any more on that? No sweat. All right, drop that. Give me Isaiah for 42 and 9. Isaiah
Come on.
42 and 9.
Isaiah 42 and 9. Behold, the former things that are come to pass, and new things do I declare.
So now again, this is Lord saying he declares things before they happen, man.
Right.
And what did the Lord declare? That we would get the kingdom of heaven, man.
right.
We would. I mean, we will be the superpower on the face of this earth, man. Like right now, with America, that's them. America pretty much runs the earth. And the Bible says one day America is going to a fall, man.
Right.
Right.
And then guess what? We are going to rule next, man. We're going to have a kingdom that will not fall. All throughout history, Many empires have had their run, and some was 50 years, 100, 1,000 years. But regardless of how long they fell,
That's
regardless of
right.
how long it reached an end, but the kingdom we got, it has no end, man.
That's right.
Read on.
Before they spring forth, I tell you of them.
And there, man, and the Lord, He tells us of them before something happens. We have it in the Bible, man. We have the plagues, epidemics, pandemics, all this. The Lord told us before, man. The Babylonian Empire, the Persians and the Medes, the Greeks, the Romans. The Lord told us before it happened, man. We have
Right.
it. All right, let's get Daniel 7:1.
The book of Daniel, even verse 1. In the first year of Belshazzar, the king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and a vision of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heavens strove upon the great sea. And four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another.
All right. So for those that haven't read the book of Daniel, he's talking about the four biggest empires on the face of the earth.
Right.
So as we read on, we're gonna break them down. But like what we read in the book of Isaiah, he said he declares it unto us before it happens. And likewise with Daniel, man. Daniel knew about these four empires before it happened, man. Before they started to rule the earth and get taxes and do everything that they did, the Lord gave it to Daniel first, man.
Right.
Read on.
The first was like a lion and had eagle wings.
All right. So what is this talking about? If anyone knows, so now with the first, which empire is this talking about?
So like, is it the Babylon? Oh,
Yeah.
So like I was just gonna say, the lion makes me think of like British Empire, and the eagle makes me think of America.
That's good, but not right here.
Right.
so like, is it the it's the Babylonians? I think the emblem was a griffin at the time.
That's right, man. So this first kingdom or this first beast is the Babylonian Empire.
Right.
And you can look them up in history. The Babylonians did exist. They lived in what would be today Iraq. And you know what I mean? So Daniel, in his vision, this was the first empire that was gonna rule, man.
Right.
And it had the eagle's wings, meaning what? The Babylonians, they were swift, man. And you can research them. They conquered lands vast, far and wide, man. Once they got that dominion, they were swift. They had wings. It's like the damn they just flew around and just, made everyone a object unto them.
Right.
Read on.
Khan. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth and made stand upon the feet as a man.
All right. So what is this part talking about? I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, meaning although he was, matter of fact, he would like to have a shot. I was going to break it down too quick.
So like for me, could it be that although the Babylonian was a powerful empire, and they pretty much ruled everything, the wings being plucked is the fall of that empire. So
give that a hand. So meaning right now, look at the analogy. It has wings. It's flying. It's just going around. Then it's wings are plucked. Meaning, if your wings are plucked, what's gonna happen? You're gonna fall. You're flying, man. You know what I mean? Your wings are plucked. You fall. So meaning, you know what I mean? At first it was strong, vast, conquering, and then its wings are plucked, meaning it's not that strong anymore, man. It fell. And what does the other part? And it was lifted up from the earth and made to stand upon the feet as a man. So look at the analogy. You know what I mean? Now it's regular. Okay.
Right.
Remember, first it was described as a iron. So now it's like a man, meaning what? First it's on his feet, on like the fours. Now it had to stand upon his feet like how we do, man. Meaning, first it was a lion, it was a beast. Now it's just like a man, just on his legs. If I'm making sense.
God.
You mean so? At first, everyone was scared. The Babylonians, till over time they lost their wings. Then they had to stand upon their legs, and they became just like a man. You know what I mean? At first, them Babylonians are serious, man. Don't mess with them. And over time, they lost their reputation. People weren't afraid of them as much. Then they just became like a man. Read on.
Got another one. Khan. Still okay. And it was lifted up from the earth and made to stand upon the feet as a man, and the man's heart was given to it.
And what does that part mean about a man's heart was a given unto it? Now, all right, I'll give you a heads up. It's like, I'll give you a heads up. Remember now, it's lost its wings, has to stand on its feet. So think about what the heart, a man's heart, could be.
So like I was gonna say, could it be that like it was a beast, so it was this great empire, and it's fallen now, and it's just become as a man rather than being like feared as this great empire. They've kind of just assimilated amongst, not really assimilated, but they've come down to the same level as potentially the other nations that were kind of around about them.
No. You honestly, you're almost there, but not quite. Would anyone else like to have a shot?
I gotta go again.
Yeah, man.
It mentioned the heart of a man. So he's given, obviously your heart is your mind. So something to do with it being it changed, kind of the empire changed, like kind of change its thought process, I guess. I don't know. Like,
You're almost there. Your thought process. Now you was almost there, man. Yes.
The heart of a man, it said.
Yeah.
You know, he wants everything. His desires, conquering countries, all the gold, the money. That the heart of a man.
Not here. I know you're talking about the eyes of a man. That's in Daniel's Bible. Not here. Yeah. Go ahead.
So like if I could, like similar to what the brother was saying, just like so as they were this mighty powerful beast and they were brought down to walk like men, doesn't mean when it says the heart of the man, doesn't mean like now that they've been brought down to a level like everybody else, they're not as a mighty and powerful empire. Now their mind is more subservient and more, like neutral like everybody else. It's not as prideful and as uptight as a mighty empire would be, or is
honestly, you're almost there, but I would take that. I'll accept that. I'll give that a hand. Right. So what it means by a man's heart, meaning he was afraid, man.
right.
I mean, they're not scared. So remember now, they lost their wings, man. Had to stand on their feet, and their heart, meaning their mind. Now they're scared. At first, they wasn't scared of nothing. They had them wings flying, conquering. They lost them wings, man. They fell. Had to stand on their feet. And then a man's heart, man, meaning what? Now they're scared like, raw. People can conquer us, man.
Right.
We can lose. You know what I mean? We can have a stronghold and it can be taken. So meaning what? So meaning, you mean as years went on in their empire, you have to realize, damn, we're not so invincible, man. We can actually die. We can actually lose stuff.
that's deep. Cause like you said, like they always use the analogy, the heart of a lion. Like you said, you know what I mean. But if you get the heart of a man, then you ain't got the heart of a lion. You know, you ain't courageous. Like, you know, men are carnal. You know what I mean? Lion goes and conquers everything. So when it said that they got the heart of a man, that makes sense. So come on, Khan.
That's right, man. So they lost the heart of the lion, and now they got the heart of a man that was scared. And damn, you know what I mean? I don't want to upset that people over there. They might meet us, man. You know. So afterwards, as the years went on, you know, they lost that strength that they had, man.
Right.
Read on.
Another one, Khan. And behold, another beast, a second like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it.
All right. So now, does anyone know which beast this is talking about?
So lucky was the bear the Persians and the Medes?
Give that a hand, man. That is right, man. So yes, now the bear is the Persians and the Medes. Now, why is it giving the analogy of that it raised itself upon one side? Because even though they were working as one side was stronger than the other. You know what I mean? Don't quote me on this, but it was the Persians. They were stronger than the Medes. The Medes had good archers. They were very, I mean, they were very excellent at that. But but they wasn't the strongest out of the two. So basically with the Persians, they were stronger than the Medes. That's why with the bear, one side is raised up on one side more than another. So even though they both rule at the same time, one side is stronger than the other. Read on.
Another one, Khan. Teeth of it. And they said thus unto it, arise, devour much flesh.
And let me tell you something, you can research it with the Persians and the Medes. If you get a map online, you will see how much land they owned, man.
Right.
They conquered Africa, Jerusalem, damn near India, Afghanistan, even up to Greece. So now with the Babylonian Empire, they didn't go that far, but this empire, they devoured much flesh, man. Look them up. You know what I mean? In your own time, you can look up how much land was under their rule, and it was a lot, man.
Cool.
And let me tell you something. God prophesied this to Daniel before it even happened, man.
Right.
Read on.
Khan. Okay. After this I beheld, and lo, another, like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl.
All right. So now, which empire is this one talking about?
So lucky is it the Greeks?
That's right, man. It's the Greeks.
Oh, okay.
And also, too, you know, you can look this up in your own time. As everyone knows about the Greeks. And, you know, of course, one of the most famous men of the Greeks, Alexander the Great. He used to also wear a leopard hat. Look it up. You know what I mean? On his horse, he gave it some leopard skin as well, and he used to wear a leopard cap. Now remember now, Daniel wrote about this before, you know what I mean, the Greeks were anything. And it's ironic that, you know what I mean, he used this animal to represent them. And basically with one of the most prominent ones of them, he wore a leopard skin hat. And on his horse, he used to give it a leopard skin overall as well.
Cool.
Now, this right here is talking about the Greek Empire. And then what did it say? And it had 4 wings of a fowl. Would anyone like to have a shot at that? What are the 4 wings on this leopard's back?
So like it's is generals.
Yeah, that's right, man. That's right. So that is his four generals, Ptolemy, Lysimachus, and etc. You know, and again, they're also found in what you will call worldly history as well, man. So it's nothing that just Bible mythology. This is things that happened.
Right.
Read on.
Khan.
Suck. You looking something?
And the 6. The beast had also.
Daniel,
Oh, sorry.
a 7 and 6.
Khan.
So, Sluck, 1 second, Lakim. So, gonna get a verse to go along with what we are reading right here.
Khan.
This is this is a reference to the four wings, Daniel 8 and 8. Therefore, the he-goat waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken.
All right, so I'll break it down. So now in Daniel 8, it's giving the same empires, but in a different analogy. Now in Daniel 8, with the goat, that's the Greek empire right there. And the Greeks waxed great, man. The Greeks conquered all of the land from the Persians and the Medes and more. Egypt and went deep into Africa as well, man. So the he-goat waxed great. Read on.
Khan, and the great horn was broken. The Alexander said.
And that's right, yes. So now that great horn on that goat, that's Alexander, meaning he died. So the analogy, of course, him dying in this analogy in Daniel 8, he's the horn that was broken, meaning what? He died, man. And I believe he died from having sex with his horse. He died of syphilis. Syphilis. That's what they say. I'll definitely speak to Captain Mashak and get that approved. But that's what they say anyway.
So like I thought it was because he died because he was a homosexual as well, wasn't it?
Yes, he was as well. Yes. But from what they say, I can't confirm it here. But he died from having sex with his horse. That's what they say. But don't hold me to that yet. I'll get it approved first.
Cool.
All right.
Come. And for it came up 4 notable ones.
And there you go. Just like in what we read in Daniel's 8, after that horn was broken, 4 notable ones, meaning what? His 4 generals, man. Right. Same thing like what we're reading right here, man. How it's a leopard, but it had 4 wings. So it's just different analogies, but all speaking about the same thing.
So like I said, this is Daniel 8 and 21. It reads, and the rough goat is the king of Grecia.
There you go. So for anyone online thinking, we're trying to misconstrue Daniel 8 and 8, in the same Daniel 8, verse 21 lets you know that the rough goat is the king of who?
Of Grecia.
Of Grecia, right. Meaning what? The king of the Greeks.
That's right.
And who's the king of Alexander?
And the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king.
And there you go. And the horn in between his eyes is the first king. And if you don't believe me, pick up any book. Alexander is considered the first a king of Greece. Right. He's considered that that main figure, man, that made the Greek Empire while it was. Read on.
So this is First Maccabees 1:1, and it happened that after Alexander, the son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chetam, had smitten Darius, the king of the Persians and Medes.
There you go. Just like in the book of Daniel's, it mentioned the Persians and the Medes. Then what empire did it mention next? The Greek Empire. And in Maccabees, what's it saying?
Alexander, the son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chetam, had smitten Darius, the king of the Persians and the Medes.
There you go. And the Greeks, under the reign of Alexander, beat the Persians and the Medes, man.
That's right.
The leopard beat the what was the Ember, man.
God.
Just like how Daniel spoke about it. Read on.
And he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
There you go, man. In the book of Maccabees, the first over Greece. And in the book of Daniel, what did it say? The horn is what? The first king of the Greeks, man.
That's right.
You know what I mean? We're not making this up, man.
God.
You know what I mean? Okay, you know what I mean? We know the Bible, man. Line upon line, here a little, there a little. You know what I mean? This is scripture breakdown class right here.
That's right.
And
he made many wars and won many strongholds.
And there you go. And in Daniel, what they say about the goat, he waxed drunk. And there you go, man. He took many strongholds. So you know what I mean? Anyone that resisted him, he beat them, man.
That's right. Cool.
That goat waxed strong, man. Just like what you read in Daniel's reader.
And slew the kings of the earth, and went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations.
And there you go, man. Waxed strong. You know what I mean? Went through the ends of the earth. And of course, this doesn't literally mean the ends of the earth. Meaning, as far as they could see, they conquered all, man.
That's right.
Right.
You know what I mean? It doesn't literally mean they went to the ends of the earth. It just means they went far, man. You know, it's like how black people talk today. If you're gonna get into a fight and then someone calls their friends on you, it wasn't 100 man. It was 100 of them. It's not really 100. It's about 6. But the point you're making is there was lots of them.
That's right.
100 doesn't literally mean 100. It's just a figure of speech. The point that you're making is there was so many of them. But you would use 100 just to explain there was so many of them. So likewise in the Bible, when it says the ends of the earth, it means they went far, man.
Right.
They went far, they went ridiculously far, just conquering, etc. Read on.
Insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up. And he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him. And after these things, he fell sick and perceived that he should die.
There, man. So he fell sick. So now that's that horn being broken right there, man.
That's right.
Alexander, he perceived that he should die, meaning what? He knew, I'm going to die, man.
Right.
When you're on the bed dying from, well, what they say, you know what I mean? Damn, you know you're going to die, man. Reader.
Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them.
There, so these are the 4 notable ones right here, man. These are the 4 generals right here. These are the 4 wings on that leopard's back, man.
That's right.
So now, before he died, with the empire he had, he divided it among them, man. Any more?
I think that's it, sir. So in the last scripture, it said he parted it between his 4 notable ones. This one said he gave it to honorable ones. The notable and honorable mean the same thing.
Yeah, you can look him up. Those are synonymous words. So, you know, so if anyone thinks you're making it up, just take him to Maccabees. And it's saying what is said in Daniel 8:21, almost word for word, man. You can't get around that. Like, you can't, there's no messing around with that, man. And these are the 4 notable ones right here, man, if you mind.
It's like Alexander's 4 generals was Cassander, Ptolemy, Seleucus,
Antagonist.
and Antagonist.
There you go. So this ain't something we're making up, man. This is, I mean, these are people that existed, and these were Alexander's 4 generals, man. And before he died, he divided his empire among them, man.
It also say that is Philip of Macedonia, and it said that in
Maccabees.
Right?
There, so even Alexander's dad, he said it in the book of Maccabees, and in secular history, as people like to say, that is his dad too, man. It shows that the Bible historically is right, man. But the Bible's right in everything. But the point is that this ain't no fairy tale. These are people that
Right.
exist. You know what I mean? Any more on that? I'm not sure. That's okay. With the screen share online, can anyone see that?
Come on, Costa.
I got it. Most sign correct. Right. So yeah, so that's them 4 generals right there, man. All right then. So let's get back to where was we in Daniel?
Chapter 7,
At
verse
7. Yeah, that's it.
7. I read from the leopard again. After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it.
There you go, man. Just like what we read in Maccabees, after Alexander died, he divided it among his 4 notable ones, if I'm correct.
Right.
In Daniel's, what did it say? You mean the beast had also for all heads, and dominion was a given unto it. So there you go, saying the exact same thing, like in Maccabees, like in Daniel 8, exact same thing. So now we know that that is the Greek Empire right there, and the Greeks had their time, the Greeks had their dominion, the Greeks had their rulership. Reader. I believe so.
Khan. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly. And it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and
All right,
stamped the residue with the feet of
I got you. So now, which empire is this talking about?
and it was
If anyone-
diverse from all the beasts that were before it.
All right.
And it had
So now,
10 horns.
which beast is this
I
one?
considered the
talking
horns,
There's a delay, I believe.
and behold, there
Yes,
came up
Lord.
among
about?
them another little horn before.
Yeah. I believe there's a lag, a bit of a lag.
I think there's a delay on his side, maybe.
Yeah. No sweat. So now, this beast right here, this is the Roman Empire, man. And like, have you noticed anything? All the other beasts, it could use an animal to to describe that empire.
Right.
When it came to Rome, it just couldn't even describe it, man. What did it say? Dreadful from all other beasts. It couldn't even give it like a description. All it says is this beast was horrible, man. Then it goes, then with them its teeth, it was of iron, and you can look it up. You can look up a time called the Iron Age, and Romans love iron, man. With
Right.
their body armor, pure iron, man. You can shoot an arrow at it, and the arrow just bounce right off, man. You know what I mean? Imagine that in your empire, you're like, listen, man, we got arrows, we got lots of them, and you shoot them at someone, and it just bounces off his armor, man. With the shields, they used to do a thing where if you shot lots of arrows at them, with the sheer eels they had, the men in front, they would basically have theirs in front, and the men in the middle, they would have theirs up top, and you would never harm him. Even every piece of weaponry they had was basically iron based, so you're shooting whole of arrows at them, not harming none of them, man. And now you imagine, okay, now we got guns, but in a time where those are the weapons you have, that's dreadful, man. You're like, yo, we shot hundreds of arrows at this person, and they blocked them all, man.
Cool.
Big shield. Some put some in front, some put theirs in the air. And guess what? We didn't harm any of them, man. And then it goes, what's the other part? Yeah, and it sedamps the residue with its feet, man. I mean, you know something about Romans, they love to march, man. You mean you disobey Rome, they're marching to a town near you, man.
That's right.
You'll
Right.
hear them from far just do, 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 do. And then you knew that was Rome, man.
Right.
Your country's like, I don't want to be under Rome. Okay. And then from far back here, and before you know it, you got Romans surrounding you, man.
So, like I said, if I could,
Yeah.
was it also like you see like the Eastern Roman Empire wasn't they like they used to do like a parade where they just march through their cities and provinces? Was it like the East the one where they wear like a blue
Right.
instead of the red?
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is true. But in the context right here, it's talking about its empire. So if you want to use that as an example, absolutely fine. But the point here is them dominating. And when you heard them march, you knew, damn, these people are serious, man. You hear them just, you knew, like, listen, they're gonna devour us, man.
Right.
And also to show how rough they were, look at the analogy that it stamped the residue with the feet, man. Meaning, even the smallest bit you got, they even stamped that down too, man.
That's right.
Meaning, that's serious. Someone even at least leaves the residue. And they're so evil and cold, they even stamp the residue with their feet, man. Meaning they
Right.
wipe you out, man. You know what I mean? And if you want an example of that, I'll give you a quick one. You know, like in Africa, there was a man called Hannibal, and you know he had a problem with Rome. You know, what happened was with his empire and Rome, they used to fight all the time. And in the second war, they had Rome won, and they used to make lots of the boats back then. And when Rome beat them in the war, they banned them from making any ships. Now, so now with Hannibal's dad, he died. But before Hannibal's dad died, he said to him, "Avenge me of Rome." So now he knew he couldn't make any ships, or then it would be war. What he did was he got men and they walked around the Alps. So they walked around Sabine and went into Rome and had a fight underground. And he was winning. But then what happened was his homeland, it was in North Africa. And if you look on a map, Italy ain't far from North Africa. So what they did is beating us on the feet over here. We get on the ships and we just attack his homeland. So they had a war. He managed to make his way back, and you know they lost the war. And then you know Rome even won that war. And then Rome said that basically, you know what I mean, they can't make any ships, and they must pay them some high tax. And then what happened was years down the line, a Roman emperor, he went there, and even though they were paying high tax, they was rich still. So this Roman emperor, he went back and goes, no, we need to wipe them out. They're rich. He goes, it's a matter of time before they have the funds and they give us another war. So do you know what they did? They went to Hannibal's homeland and they wiped it out, man. And do you know what they did? To make sure that nothing would grow on that land, they even put some salt on the land, man. They stamped the residue with their feet, man. They didn't just beat them in the war. They made sure that nothing grew on that land, man. And they even deported them to basically surrounding lands, man. So that's what Rome does. Rome stamped the residue with their feet, meaning Rome would wipe you out, man. Hannibal, do you know what I mean? He didn't have a homeland anymore. If everyone understands. All right, let's read on in Daniel. Oh, suck it. You got a lot of feedback. Daniel, it's a 7 and 8.
Daniel 7 and 8. I considered the horns and behold.
It's like it started the verse above, just the last bit about diverse from all the other beasts.
It devoured and break in pieces and stamped the residue with its feet. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it.
And why was this beast diverse? Because you had elections, man. You mean in the Babylonian Empire, you was a king if what your dad was a king, man. In the Persians and the Medes Empire, you was a king if your dad was a king. In the Greeks, Alexander died, and what happened? When he went to his 4 generals, what happened? Their kids, they became kings. But Rome, it was diverse. Meaning Rome, you had a vote for who was going to be the king, man. It was diverse, meaning how they set things up. It was handled differently from all the other empires of the earth. You voted, man. Democracy. In ancient empires, that did not exist. You was a king if your dad was a king, man. That it's as easy as that. You get the throne. Why? Because your dad had the throne. That's right. When it came to Rome, you voted. Someone spoke, I'll do this. You vote for me, soldiers and tax, and you voted him. That's what made Rome diverse from all of them, because all of them didn't roll like that. You mean with what's one of the 4 generals' names? Yeah, right. With any of them, once they had dominion, then with the kids that they had, they ruled, man. But Rome, it was different. They set things up different, man. Read.
And it had 10 horns. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them a little horn.
So now, what are these 10 horns, man? Rome's original. No. The 10 horns are the 10 countries that Rome conquered, and then in this day and age, it'll be the European stock market. But from these 10 horns came up a little horn. Would anyone like to guess what that little horn is?
Is it that? I think I got the preset, but I can't remember where it is. Is that the one that like a small mountain? Nah, a little horn that became a big mountain. That one, that's a preset, or no?
No.
No.
So it's a little horn America. Out of them countries, that's how America was founded.
That's right, man. America comes from what? Basically, countries over here, the Spanish, the French, and the British as well, man. Right. And now, why is that horn small? Because America's young, man. That's right. Even America as we know it was founded in the 1600s. So that's damn near only just for all 100 years and some. Right. That's why it's a little horn, meaning it's young, man. England's a big horn. England's got history that goes back thousands of years. Spain's got history that goes back thousands of years. Germany has got history that goes back thousands of years. France has got history that goes back thousands of years. But America does not. A castle ain't in America, man. A castle over here, you drive anywhere, there's a castle that belong to King George or Queen Elizabeth VI. You know what I mean? You go anywhere and there's historic artifacts. America hasn't got historic artifacts. There are monuments there, but the history of it doesn't go back far, man. If you go to Wales, you find castles galore, man.
Right.
Those of them, and they have, and if there's a guide, they show you around who lived here, and what happened. But America is a little horn. Why? Because it's new, man. In the span of time, that country is new. Read on.
Khan, I considered the horn, and behold, there came up among them a little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots.
So now, what are the 3 horns? Meaning with this small horn, it plucked up 3, man. Now look at American history. Which 3 horns make America what it is, man?
So like I say, it's France, Britain, and Spanish. That's like if you go to like California, you got like places like Los Angeles, and the places are named after Spanish names, and you got like then you got Philadelphia and New York and Derby. Then that some areas are British. Then in the south, you got French, like Louisiana. That's French. So all them 3 countries make up America. Like if you go California, like you got palm trees just like Spain. It even looks like Spain.
That's right.
And the East Coast looks more like
England.
Even the names and stuff like New York and like,
Manchester.
Yeah, kind of and Derby and Philadelphia, and then over here, and then in the south you got like Louisiana and where places like that where they actually speak French this day. They actually Creole and stuff.
That's right, man. So now those are the 3 horns that America plucked up. Meaning in that land, it consists of them 3 horns, man. You know what I mean? And as what after said, you go to the West Coast, Las Vegas, San Bernardino, Saint Bernard. That's the English translation of it, man. They speak Spanish. Then you're on the East, New Yorkshire. You know what I mean? And you got many names that really come from over here: Manchester, Lancashire, Birmingham. You know what I mean? Rochdale. That is from Manchester. Rochdale's near Manchester. You know what I mean? New York, Yorkshire, and etc. And then you go down Louisiana, that's French. And you know what I mean? As what the author said, man, they even speak French. Well, not all of them, but some of them speak French till this day, man.
And behold, in his horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things.
All right, so in this horn, there was eyes as a man. Now, what analogy is it trying to give that it had eyes as a man?
So like I said, does it mean that he wants everything is lustful?
He's lustful, that's right, man. You got eyes of a man, meaning what? The one it all, man. The one it all, man. What they do, you know what I mean? They slaughtered everyone in America. Then they had it for themselves. That's the eyes of a man, man. Imagine that you don't belong in a land and someone gave you a piece, man. And you wasn't happy with that. You wanted all of America and you eradicated them. You gave them smallpox blankets. You've done everything you can so that you can have it all. That's having the eyes of a man, man. Meaning you're greedy, you're lustful, you're just too desirous over things that ain't yours, man. And that's what America had. That's what the oppressor under the banner of America had, man. The eyes of a man, meaning he's lusty. He wants it all. Read that. Suck it. And a mouth speaking great things. What did it say? God bless America, man. In national anthems. They believe that God is with America, man. After all of what has happened, the oppressor thinks that, God just is with America. You know what I mean? You can marry your dog. In some states in America, that is legal.
God.
You know what I mean? Sexual deviancy, there's nothing wrong with it. That is a mouth speaking great things against God. And why are they speaking against God? Because they say they follow the laws of God. What is a famous phrase that they like to use? Judeo-American laws. Does anyone know what that means?
So look, it's the laws. When they say Judeo, they're referring to the Jews, and it's the laws from our forefathers that they
Give that a hand,
put
man.
into
You know, all right. Whenever you hear someone say, well, we're following the Judeo laws, meaning they're following biblical laws, like in England as well, they say that this is a Judaic place, meaning they follow the biblical laws, the laws of the Jews. Now in America, they say that too, man. This is a Judeo-American country, and they don't follow the laws, man. That's how
Right.
you speak great things against the Most High. When you're claiming that you are, when you claim that I'm following God's laws and you're not, man, you're doing the opposite. That's how you're speaking great words against, you know what I mean, against the Most High. But that's in Daniel in somewhere else. But over here, it just says great things. Read on.
And I behold, the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit.
So now, what do we need to understand? All these empires dropped, man. They was cast down. Does anyone know what cast means?
It's like it means to throw down, like to cast something down. Means you threw it down.
That's right, man. So meaning, although Daniel's talking about these empires, how much they would rule, how strong they would be, at the end of it, they're all going to be cast down, man.
That's right.
The Babylonians cast down, the Persians and the Medes cast down, the Greeks cast down, the Romans cast down, America and the Horns, whatever, all of them are going to be cast down.
That's right.
So now, although we're talking about these empires, they're going to have their time, but what is going to happen? They're going to be cast down, man.
That's right.
Read on.
Whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool, and his throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as a burning fire.
And there you go. So meaning, once Daniel saw all these empires, the Lord cast them down, man. And the Lord was on his throne. What does this mean? Mean that the Lord, he rules all, man.
Right.
In his vision, he saw all these empires, and then he saw the Lord on his throne. Meaning what? The Lord is above all of them, man.
Cool.
You know what I mean? Even though they fell, the Lord stays on that throne, man. The Lord rules. Read on.
And the fiery
That's right.
stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. And the judgment was set, and the books were open.
Meaning what? That is what you call judgment day right there, man. The books are open on your life. So once these empires fell, people got judged, man. The books are open like, listen, so okay, you did this. Oh man, you violated this book. You know what I mean? So the books are open on you. Just like in law, they have a law book, and depending on what you did, them offenses add up. And God has one too in heaven, man. Read it.
Verse 11, I beheld then because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake. I beheld even till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame.
What's that? That's America, man. One day America's going to get the flame, man. But the beast ain't done with it yet. Read on.
As concerning the rest of the beast, as concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and time.
Meaning what? Once America's gone, what beast does America originate from? Those 10 horns, man. So they're going to have their time. At the moment, America has its time, but guess what? You know what I mean? England and that's going to be around, but let's find out what happens. Read on.
I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. And his dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed.
All right, so what is it talking about from the verses above? What we read on right down. What does this let you know, man, about all these empires and what's going to happen in the end?
It's like I said, it's basically saying that all these empires, Greeks, Romans, the powerful, but overall they're gonna fall, and then the worship of Christ is gonna stand forever. So overall, no matter how strong they are, no matter how much countries take over, black people got a dominion coming next, and it won't fall. It'll better than this.
That's right. We give that hand. That is it right there. You talk about all the horns, but then what? But then guess what? The Most High gave Yahushua a kingdom that would never be destroyed, man. Meaning, although they rule and you see them do amazing things, it's not gonna last.
Right.
You're only gonna get so far, but there's a kingdom that will remain forever, man. And that's our kingdom under Christ. So now, with knowing that, let's get Job 20:4.
Another one, Khan. The book of Job, chapter 20, and verse 4. Knowest thou, Slakia, knowest thou not of this old? Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment.
There you go, man. This is in the book of Job right here. And Job said, men of old, they knew this as well, man. That with the wicked, it's only for a time, man. When the wicked rule, it's only for a time. And likewise, in the book of Daniel, what's the point that's being made? These empires are going to rule. But when it's all said and done, Jesus Christ is ruling, man.
That's right.
Yeah, at the time they devoured much flesh, went here, went there, did this, did that. But when it's all said and done, Jesus Christ is ruling, man. Yahushua, he's ruling. And that's the point of Daniel. You're talking about what's going to happen. But when it's all said and done, there's only one winner at the end of it.
That's right.
I mean, they're not gonna be winners. They only have their time. Cool. And in the book of Job, what it say? The a triumphing of the wicked is short. Meaning, when they're winning, it's short, man. And let me tell you, with life, time does not go backwards, man. You mean one day you're gonna have to fall, man.
Right.
You think it's 100 years and you think, well, that's far away. Then guess what, man? 100 years will come. It's like it. Just like 1 second. Yeah, so with the triumphing of the wicked, it's but for a time, man. It's but for a time, and it's not forever, man. 100 years will come one day. 1,000 years will come one day. And that's something that people don't understand. Just want to say one thing, man. Anyone who's not in the school, do contact us, man. Sakura, you should put the number. Do contact us, man. We give counseling, and as you can see, we know the Bible, man. And the Bible is a prophetic book. You know what I mean? Yeah. So now, yes, we can get into the prophecies in the Bible, but the Bible also can change your life, man. The Bible has counsel. The Bible has things that, definitely can change your life, man. Because our religion, we just assume that, the Bible's just singing and dancing and all that. But no, the Bible is a practical book, man. The Bible's practical. Your wife, gets on your last nerve. There's Bible verses on that, man.
Right.
You're feeling sad. There's Bible verses that you can practically use to also change that. So, anyone online, do contact us, man. We're here for you.
Right.
We're here for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Watching is one thing, but come in here, man. Help build your nation.
Right.
What you're learning right here, pass to somebody else, man.
Right.
Definitely, man. Do pass that on to someone else, man. And definitely, if we pass it on, then guess what? We can have the kingdom of heaven, man. We can have what is in the Bible, man. We read about the four empires, and guess what? They fell. And if we love each other and pass this information on, and also come in the school, then guess what, man? We can have what is written out in the book of Daniel, man, under Christ, a kingdom of heaven, man. So
Right.
if put number there. So yeah, man, if you're in the class online, do call that number right there, man. 07960 746 784, man. Do contact that number right there, man. So yeah, we crack on. So read that one more time. Job 20:4.
Khan. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment.
And then, man, it's for a moment. Meaning, if you're not living according to the way of the Most High, any joy you do receive is for a moment, man.
Right.
It's not gonna last forever. And how do we know? Because we see it every day. Drug dealers, their joy is for a moment, man. It's only for a moment to get to drive that nice car. It's only for a moment that all the ladies are on them, and then what happens? They get locked up, man.
Right.
If you don't serve the Most High, any joy you get, it's not going to be forever. It's for a moment. And let me tell you something: a drug dealer's joy is only like a year, man. They're out there having their fun for a year, and they're in prison.
Right.
We come out again, have our fun, make fast money. You're in prison again doing 3 years. You come out, might have a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years, locked up again. And that's something we need to understand, that any fun outside of the Lord is for a moment, man.
Right.
If we serve our God, guess what? It's not for a moment. The kingdom of heaven is forever. Blacks and Hispanics ruling this earth is forever. It's not for a moment. But if you try to have any fun outside of the boundaries of the Lord, it's but for a moment, man. It's not going to last forever. Right, let me get the next scripture. Let's get Ecclesiasticus 10:4 in the Apocrypha.
Come on. Ecclesiasticus chapter 10 and verse 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord.
And there you go, man. Despite in Daniel reading about all those empires, the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, man. Meaning, if the Lord if he doesn't want any empire to have dominion, they won't have it, man.
Right.
If the Lord didn't want the Romans to have dominion, they wouldn't have had this. But as what we're reading, the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, meaning the Lord makes you have that ability. That's something that the Lord has to give. Otherwise, if it's not given of the Lord, you will not have it.
Right.
You won't have it. Read on.
And in due time, he will set over it one that is profitable.
And there you go, man. And in due a time, he will set over it one that is profitable. And who's that? That's us, man. That's blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We are
Right.
profitable to this earth, man.
Right.
You want to know why? Because we got the Lord God, man. We got what the earth needs. We are the people under Christ that are profitable to this earth. All of the famine, all of the dying, and all the wars. There's one nation on this earth that can fix that. There's one nation on the earth that can solve all the bad things that happen on this planet right now. And the problem is we are not ruling. The problem is we are in the mosque. The problem is we are in the church. And if we would find our God, we would be an answer to this earth, man. We are the people that are profitable to this earth. Read that again.
And in due time, he will set over it one that is profitable.
And in due time, man, meaning in the right time, the Lord will set over this earth one that is profitable. And who is that? That's blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
Nobody else, man. We are the people that are profitable to this earth.
Right.
With the laws found in this Bible, we will show you, man. We will show you. And guess what? Above us is the Most High. He knows it, man. He knows we are the people that are profitable to this earth.
That's right.
Read on.
Verse 5. In the hand of the Most High is the prosperity of man.
And there you go. In the hand of the Most High is the prosperity of man. Meaning in the hands of the Most High, he decides whether we will be prosperous or not, man.
Right.
Now, what happened? As a nation, we sinned against the Lord, and the Lord is making sure we are not prosperous at all, man. And how do you know it's the Lord? Imagine a people that work the hardest, a people that give the most, and we don't receive anything.
Right.
That's how you know that the Lord, he handles everything. Why? Because you would think, well, damn, if a people work the hardest by default, they would have everything. If a people did the most, that it's normal that they would have everything, but we don't, which shows what? That the power is in the hand of the Lord. And regardless of what you do, you know what I mean? If the Lord ain't with you, you will never have it, man.
That's right. Right.
Reader.
And upon the person of the scribe shall he lay his honor.
And there on the person of the scribe, he shall lay his honor. What does that mean? Meaning, with the scribe, he's the person that writes down the words, man.
Right.
And the Most High put honor on a scribe. Daniel wrote down Daniel, man. Isaiah, meaning you honor those scribes, you honor those people that writ down the word of the Lord, man. And guess what? The Lord, he gave it to them, man. The Lord gave Daniel the revelation of the 4 beasts, man.
That's
the
right.
4 empires that would dominate this earth. And one that hasn't come yet. And what's that? The kingdom of heaven, man.
Right.
Read on.
Verse 6. Bear not hatred to thy neighbor for every wrong.
Also, like, that's going into something else. Let's get Habakkuk 2 and 3. Habakkuk 2 and 3.
The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed, for an appointed time.
All right, and that's something in the Bible that we need to understand. What these men, what they saw and what they writ down is for an appointed time. Meaning, it doesn't happen when you want it to happen. It happens when the Lord wants it to happen, man.
Right.
It happens when the Lord saw fit to make it happen.
Right.
So, these visions that these men of God saw, it is for an appointed time. Meaning, it's for a time where the Lord wants that to happen. Read on.
But at the end, it shall speak.
But at the end, it shall speak. What does that mean? But at the end, it shall speak.
So does that mean that in the time appointed for the vision to come to pass, everyone will see it, and in whatever the vision was happening, the message would have been clear to everyone around that can see it.
That's right.
That it happened.
That's right. So meaning, of course, it doesn't literally speak. It just means that you're gonna see. It's gonna be evident. It's gonna be evident that this is what the Lord said. When it happened, you know that the Lord spoke of it, man. When it happens, although it's for an appointed time, when it happens, you know that the Lord spoke about it, man.
Right.
Read on.
And not lie.
And not lie, meaning it happens as the Lord said it would, man.
That's
Right.
It happened as the Lord said it would, and that vision does not lie. That vision does not lie, man. That vision didn't kind of happen. If the Lord says that will happen, then believe me, it will happen, man.
right.
That's right.
It will happen, man. It will come to pass. Read on.
Colonel, though it tarry, wait for it,
And then, man,
because it will surely come.
so meaning, though it hasn't happened yet, wait for it, man. And that's the faith that we gotta have.
That's
Although the kingdom of heaven isn't here yet, wait for it, man. Although we're not ruling this planet yet, wait for it, man.
Right.
Don't get weak. If you ain't got this record and you don't believe in what is written down, then what hope do you have, man? There ain't no hope out there. You know what I mean? There's many people that put hopes in many things and they lose all of it, man.
Right.
Many people that put hope in, well, at least I got this, and the Lord can take that away too, man.
That's right.
So if you ever need any hope, the words in this book, let that be your hope, man.
That's right.
You applying it and living it, let that be your hope, because anything else is vanity. Anything else is not real hope, man. And in the Bible, it says, wait for it, man. Wait for it. Wait for it, man. It may take a time. Yeah, so though it happened, though it hasn't happened yet, wait for it, man. So many people, yeah, but when, listen, don't worry about when. You get yourself right, man.
That's right.
Yeah, and you gotta wait for it. You know, like so many people, I can't wait, I can't wait. Well, you have to wait, man. You're gonna have to, because the Lord, He's got His time and His plan, and it's not on your time. It's not when you. It's not when you want it to happen. And the Bible's saying you gotta wait for it, man. The vision is gonna happen, but you gotta wait for it, man. Like in Daniel, Christ is bringing a kingdom, and what do we need to do? Wait for it, man. We gotta serve. We gotta serve. Keep laws, statutes, commandments. Do everything right, and wait for it. Reader,
Because it will surely come.
there because it will surely come, man. Meaning, wait for it. Why? Because it is going to happen. It's not just some hocus pocus, man. What is in the Bible will happen. It will come to pass, and that's why we gotta wait for it. You know, and as I said at the beginning of the class, you know, nothing in the Bible has not happened that said it would happen. So you know what I mean? If we're talking about the kingdom of heaven, then let's make it happen, man.
That's right.
Let's serve and wait for it, man. You know what I mean, England's falling, man. You know what I mean, the whole Brexit thing is shaking up England, man. So you know why would we stop it? Stop 1 second. Yeah, so why would we hope in a country that is falling, man? You are aware that because of the coronavirus, all of the furloughs they're handing out, that's bankrupting England, man. They're going into savings that they've kept from slavery, just, you know what I mean, spending all of it. And what's going to happen? They're going to go bankrupt, or they're going to lose lots of money that they've been saving for hundreds of years. You know what I mean? They've been paying people from when it happened last March, man, paying people 80%. And that costs money. Money just doesn't come from the sky. You know what I mean? Those finances come from somewhere, and England's getting bankrupt, man. England's losing millions of pounds weekly from paying people's furloughs. So if you trust in this country, I wouldn't do that, man.
That's right.
This country is falling, man. So what hope do we have? The kingdom of heaven, man. We have the rulership where, you know what I mean, we're going to set everything right and in order. We're going to do it as the Bible said, man. Reader.
God, it will not tarry. Behold, verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him.
So what's this talking about? Our oppressor, meaning his soul is not right in him, man. Meaning he's not right. How he handles himself, how he deals with things, it's not right, man. And that's our oppressor. Us being, you know what I mean, us having the understanding of the Lord, we see how our oppressor operates, and what do we all say? He's not right, man.
Right.
I mean, he's a thief. That is robbery. You know what I mean? Every black and Hispanic and native Indian man understands that how our oppressor handles situations in life, it's not right, man.
Right.
And in us being the people of the Lord, we know that that's not right, man. You know what I mean? You're adding interest onto him. So of course, how is he ever going to pay that back? You mean us being the people of God, us having so much care and love, we look at what they do and go, they're not right, man. They're not right, man. You know what I mean? You got to pay rent for this tax, that tax. You know what I mean? Damn there, everything is a way for them to get rich.
Right.
You know, that is not right, man. Read on.
But the just shall live by his faith.
And there, but you see it there, the just, someone that keeps the laws of God shall live by his faith, man. Meaning you live by your works.
Right.
So even though the vision is taking long, you got to live by that faith, man. You got to still work towards it. You got to still live and do the right thing, even though the vision may be taking long, man. Even though the prophecy may be taking its time, you gotta wait for it. And you got to live by faith, man. You got to live by them works. You gotta keep them laws, keep them statutes, keep them commandments. It doesn't mean because something in the Bible may take long, it doesn't give you an excuse to go and sin, man. It doesn't give you an excuse to go and do something wrong. Regardless of how long it takes, you got to live by that faith.
That's right.
Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. Neither keepeth at home.
And there you go, and that's our oppressor right there, man. He's a proud man, and he doesn't stay at home, man.
Right.
I mean, you look all over the earth, you will see our oppressor everywhere talking about he's South African. You mean you go there, you know what I mean? He's white man. I'm African, thank you very much. You're like, no, you're not. But in his mind, because he don't keep it at home, he believes he's everyone.
Right.
He believes, you know what I mean? He's Japanese if he's lived there long enough. He believes he's Chinese if he's lived there long enough. He believes an Arab if he's lived there long enough and had kids. And that's our oppressor. Cannot keep himself at home. Cannot stay at home and just, you know what I mean, focus on his people. Always concerned about everybody else. But over there, they're having a war. Let's go and help them. Let's adopt them. Meanwhile, in England, people are dying over here, man.
Right.
In England, people are jobless, and you want to go somewhere else and help another land. That's the people that can't keep themselves at home. Read on.
Who enlargeth his desire as hell.
I mean, he's got a big desire, and hell means the ground. And how big is the ground? Limitless, man.
Right.
Ground, you know what I mean? Who can measure it? Meaning his desire, it's like hell, it's like the ground, it's like the grave. You know what I mean? That's just limitless. Meaning he desires everything. Our oppressor wants everything, man. That's why you're paying tax for everything, man.
That's
Right.
That's why you gotta pay money for everything, man. And you know what hurts? When you insure your car, man. Imagine this. You're gonna pay to insure your car and not have an accident. And you know what hurts? You don't even get the money back, man. You don't get the money back to use that same money you got back to pay the insurance next year. Like, well, you know, you never got an accident. Here's the money, pay it back again. He wants that money and wants you to pay insurance money next year too, man.
God.
Because he's greedy, man. He wants all your money. And you know what hurts? When you have an accident, they don't want to even pay you anyway.
Right.
You're gonna have it. Well, we might just write off your car. It might be cheaper and easy. Like, no. Listen, I paid insurance for 5 years. I want my car fixed. Yeah, but you know, all that money, that's a lot. Yeah, but that's my money, man.
Right.
I'll pay that insurance money. Why can't my money fix that car, man? Well, no, the premiums and blah blah, some nonsense, man. And all that is why, because he's greedy, man. He took your money and he doesn't want to pay you back, man.
That's
He took your money and really he rather you just write off your car so that you don't have to get no money. Slack your coffee. You had something you want to say?
Oh no.
No sweat. And many other things as well. You pay so much and never seem to get nothing back, man.
Right.
Why? Because he's greedy. Insurance is a fraud. Don't get me wrong. In some cases, insurance can benefit you, but a lot of what they have us paying for, they know it's useless, but you do it in the hope of that if something bad was to happen, at least you get something.
right.
Read on.
Come on. And is as deaf and cannot be satisfied.
And there you go. He cannot be satisfied, man. That's our oppressor. Cannot be satisfied. Imagine that, man. You know what I mean? A country making billions, and just never have enough. Want to tax you to death, man. You know what I mean? And then it hurts them to even raise the minimum wage. When they raise it, they make such a big deal. You know what I mean? When I was 16, what was minimum wage? £5.55. Yeah, if you was under 16, minimum wage was £3.62, man. If you was an adult, it was £5.50 or £5.80. What's the minimum wage now? About £7?
I think for an adult it's about £8 something.
£8 something. And let me tell you something. Do you know how upset the government is about that? They're upset about paying you £8 when this country from tax makes billions off everyone, man. And for you to raise minimum wage, it grieves them, man. You want to know why? Because they cannot be satisfied. They're like, yeah, but I was making so much. I got to pay them a few more pounds. And that's what it is, man. Our oppressor cannot be satisfied. He could have it all. And the little that you get, he doesn't want you to have that either, man. He wants it all and he cannot be satisfied. Read on.
But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
And there you go, man. That's our oppressor. It gathers up all people, man. Wants everyone under him. He spreads that wine like in verse 5, that wine, man. His philosophy, and gathers unto him all a people. All people, man, to be under him. You know what I mean? He wants it all. And if you want it all, then too, man. So that you can get theirs. 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Wants to gather all people unto him, man. And that's his problem. Can never be satisfied. Always wants everything. And can never have enough, man. Read on.
Verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his.
And there you go, man. So meaning, even though he's got everyone under him, even though they're under him, they know what he's about, man.
Right.
Like, woe unto him that increaseth with that which is not his. And many people say that. Even in England right now, what the Indians say, you know, England oppressed us, man. You mean they're rich from, you know, some things from India, but the majority from us. And people see that and go, this country is built of things that are not theirs, man.
That's right.
All that money and resources they have, it's not theirs, man.
Right.
All the gold and all of the money they got in banks to pay everyone's 80%, it wasn't theirs anyway, man.
Right.
It wasn't theirs. And people see that. You go, I'm in this country and a lot of what they claim is theirs is not theirs, man. It's not theirs. They like to flaunt it around like it's theirs and tell people go back home when none of this here is yours anyway, man.
Right.
All this gold you're flaunting around with, and you know what I mean? You're like, well, you know, you go back to, you know what I mean, Jamaica. Well, Jamaica would have it if you didn't rob it, man. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's the slaves that made England what it is. If we done it for ourselves, then England wouldn't have nothing, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? But what's it saying? The people under him, they see this and go, you know what? Woe unto him, man. You know what I mean? He increaseth with that which is not his.
All
right, so we good on that. All right. So now just one last thing before we get into a special announcement. All right, so now again, man, if you're online, you know what I mean, come into the school, man. Contact that number right there on the screens right beneath me right here, man. You know what I mean? Come into the school, get your counseling, and above all that, serve the Lord, man.
That's right.
Above all of that, serve the Lord, man. You know what I mean? Watching is good, But you know what I mean? You put in your brick as well and serve the God of Israel, man.
That's right.
Serve your God, man. Contact that number and do something, man. Do something. All right, man. So with that, you know what I mean? Now, the reason why I'm saying that, because we're going to celebrate right now, man. There is someone who we're going to bring in, and you know what I mean? This is long overdue, man. All right, so without further ado, this sister right here, man, and trust me, we are going to celebrate right now, man. I got my not vodka, gin. I got my gin on my left hand side right here, and we're gonna get it in, man. So you see a sister on my top, no, on my bottom right on the screen. This sister, you've done an excellent job, man. Been, you know what I mean? I'm gonna break it down, man. You know, before her before her Akanika, you know what I mean, she was here and we was going to paint, and honestly, I didn't expect her to paint. I was like, okay, so we are going to paint, and she was like, nah, I want to paint too, man.
That's right.
You know what I mean? She put on the overall and got busy, man. She got busy, man. She put on the overall, got busy. She, you know what I mean, painted the green in the school, man. Put in, you know what I mean? She done some work, man. And you know what I mean? Anything we need on them holidays, this sister's here, man. And you know what I mean? Believe me, you know what I mean? We warmly welcome you into the school, man. You know what I mean? With open arms, man. This sister has done an excellent job. And 1 second. All right, we got a bit of a lag, but you know what I mean? There's a lag online, but in here, there's no lag, man.
That's right.
That, you know what I mean? And this sister's done an excellent job, man. Battled through so much.
That's right.
Achieved so much. Overcame so much. And that's why, sister, from now, your name ain't Sir Anja anymore, man. Your name is Parakia. And do you know what that means? It means to blossom, man.
That's right.
You wonder why? You've been through so much and you blossomed, man. Give that a hand, man. You've been through so much and you blossomed, man. I remember the first day you came to the school. You know what I mean? So I believe you opened the door first, and I come through and I saw someone standing outside. I was like, "Are you right?" And she's like, "Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm just waiting to come inside school." It's like, "Well, you know what I mean? Like, what's up, man?" And you know what I mean? You came in shy, but guess what? You came in, man.
That's right.
There's many people, you know, they want to do it and they don't do it.
God.
Regardless of how you felt, you did it anyway, man.
That's right.
You did it anyway. Why? Because you blossomed, man. You know what I mean? Nothing is stopping you, and guess what? You did the right thing, man. You didn't make nothing hinder you from you coming in the school, and guess what? We love you, man.
That's right.
I mean, we welcome you with open arms. You know what I mean? You are one of us, man.
That's right.
You know what I mean? You are one West, man. You fought whatever was in your mind, and you did the right thing, man. And that's why your name is Parakia. Why? Because you blossomed, man.
That's right.
You done your time in school and blossomed. You know what I mean? Give that a hand, man. Yeah. No sweat, man. No sweat, bro. You grab that mic, man. You hold it down.
And the sister got a bit of a connection problem. They ain't no sweat, man. Like what you said, sir, man. I remember when the sister first, it all started with a phone call, man. The sister's rightfully named Blossom. I've seen the sister blossom. You know what I mean? I've seen the sister, you know, been through hell and came into the school and found family, man. And now she's our family. And we've helped her with that hell, man. And, you know, I want to give a big congratulations to the sister, man. The sister went through a lot, man. The sister blossomed, became strong in his truth, man. Every holiday, the sister come down from up north, man. You know what I mean? All the way up north, all the way to the Midlands, man. On public transportation. That's how much she loves the school, man. And this sister is welcome here, man. Still, Sheen again. This sister is welcome here, man. And that's why this sister's rightfully named Parakia, man. And I can't wait, sister. I can't wait for Boris Johnson to change these lockdown rules, man. As soon as these lockdown rules are uplifted, I'm gonna give you an anointment, man. We're gonna give you an anointment, man, and send the prayers up, man. You know what I mean? Because this sister's worth it. So, let me get this sister on the stream real quick. So, like, hopefully you can hear me. I know you got a bit internet problem, but it don't matter, man. And hopefully when Boris Johnson lets up these lockdown rules, you can come here and we'll give you your anointment. You know, sis, you deserve it, man. This sister been through hell, man. This was fought for it, man. Came to UPK. At first didn't, agree with everything we say. And the sister blossomed, and now she does, man. And that's why your name is now Rocker, because you blossomed, man. You know, and it all started with a phone call. I remember the phone call like it was yesterday, man. The sister called and said, yeah, this is the I.S.U.P.K. Came to 1 class, 2 classes, came to the high holidays. Then the sister came to the school and started decorating, man. I couldn't believe it. She said to me, have you got the overalls? And got decorated, man. You know what I mean? And it's sisters like that we love in the school, man. It's sisters like that are a pillar in this truth, man, that help these brothers, man. And sister, that's why you name Parakia, man. And anyone else out there also can come with the truth also, man. Call 079 607 46784, man. This sister did it, man. And now she's our sister, man. And so I can't wait for Boris to let down his rules, man. Because since we're going to have a drink, man. You know what I mean? You're going to come into school. We're going to have a drink, man. You know what I mean? Boris, you know what I mean? You come here and we will anoint you and so forth, sister, man. So again, congratulations on your name, man. Sister Parakia from up north in Sheffield, man. SHALAM, man. Lucky, don't be the camera drops a lucky, sis.
Anyone deserving of a name, sis, it's you, man. Honestly, you know what I mean? And there wasn't a name that was best. You know what I mean? When we like, okay, this is the name, I was like, yes, this sister blossomed, man. Overcame so much, achieved so much, and you fought everything to be here, man. Like I said, I remember that first day, and I was like, yo, there's someone just outside by the door, and you fought that demon, man. You didn't let it hinder you and go, I'm not coming. There's people in Birmingham right now that don't come, man. Right. And you took that train and made it here. And that's why, sister, you blossomed, man. And guess what? That blossoming ain't done, man. You're going to grow and grow, and you're going to be an example to everyone in the school, man. Whenever we want to give an example, sister, that will be you, man. Right. And that, man. So, definitely, man, most high in Christ, man. You need that hand.
So like I.S.U.P.K security announcements, where the I.S.U.P.K started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. Rule for a new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18, Malachi 3 and 8 to 10, means 10th in the Hebrew, Ma'ashara, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or the teacher. Priest fund, which is not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation is Purim. Or Akraf, check the bulletin board in the hallway. And check all I.S.U.P.K social media. If anyone wants to be a troop in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and headscarf. And with that, I'm Martin. Rise to east. The Lord's Prayer.
Our Father
in heaven,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
A kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done
In earth.
in earth
As it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us today
our daily bread.
Our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not.
And lead us not
to temptation.
Into temptation.
But deliver us. From evil.
From evil.
For thine is the a kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory. Forever.
So be it.
من الفيديو المالك شباب المالك الرا Yahweh
Yahweh Bar Shemi Hawashai Barakathum.
Ya Jamata, class dismissed.